Good evening, Radio Brunel. Please welcome your host for tonight, the gentleman.
And on the show today, explaining more about the work we're doing to make Brunel funnier, we have part of the Comedy Society team, the rest of which, you genitalias being the word of my fans, as I came up with last week on Talent. You will meet in due course as I bring the rest of them on later, but today we have the Dream Team. Yannick on the show.
Hello.
And he's here as the vice president of the Brunel Comedy Society. I thought, well, Andreas was supposed to be sitting alongside you for this bit, and
he's Greek.
He's Greek, so he'll be fashionably late. So we might just have to do this all over again when Andreas actually does arrive.
And that'll be fun too.
I'll do this anyway, and I've chosen a track here that I don't know if you know. Do you know about the TV show in the UK called Live at the Apollo?
Yeah, I do actually. I haven't been here that long, but I know about that.
And as I say this, I'll say your full name, and then you can say something about yourself, something people don't know. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the show this week, the invisible Andreas Paspatis, who will be on later, I'm sure, and Yannick Vogel. Welcome, Yannick.
Thank you. What am I supposed to say now? I'm the vice president of the Brunel Comedy Society. Delighted to be on The Gentleman. And I am actually from Germany, so we've taken the society international already. Been here for 2 months, and yeah, you might think I'm a German with an American accent. How weird is that? I don't know, it just happened to be that way. When I was born, I popped out and I had an American accent. So, yeah, I don't know. Great to be here. Very excited for the next 2 hours. And I hope Andreas will show up anytime soon.
Yeah, well, so do I. Because a lot of this involves dual participation.
Yeah.
Because that's how the show's planned. But I didn't plan in. I should have. What I should have said was the show starts at 5. Really.
Right. Yeah. Because then he would have been on time.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if we'd said 4:30, he would have been on time.
Yeah. I mean, he's on a bike now. He got this bike to try
but it's probably a Greek bike though.
Yeah.
Breaks down, goes bankrupt. Yeah. All the things. What the Greek things do.
The wheels are tired.
Right.
There we go. There's the first one, ladies and gentlemen. We have Andreas on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. Jonathan, thank you very much. I was just dancing.
So, is there any reason why why you arrived on the show 15 minutes late?
Well, I'm just Greek.
So what's just happened is, to recap, I'll fill you in. I've introduced the Comedy Society, and then we decided to plan a more Greek-themed introduction for you, which is why we're playing Sataki for you.
Well, I'm still dancing, man.
What I've got here, I've got the script. Now you're here. I can do this. I mentioned in my introduction about the Make Brunel Funnier campaign. This idea created by me as one of the newly formed Brunel Comedy Society presidents. The other president and the society's vice president are sitting opposite me now. Yannick is the vice president and Andreas is the president. Before I go on, Yannick's done it. He's introduced himself. Andreas, introduce yourself. Some crazy facts about yourself apart from your great dancing skills.
Well, yeah, I don't think there's something else. I'm a Greek stand-up comedian as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing this. actually.
How are you going about making Brunel funnier?
Well, I think that we're already doing something, right? Aren't we? We we have the open mic. Are we there yet?
Are we?
As a show, as a radio show? Are we in the UK top charts?
We're not. Well, no.
What? Why are we here?
I didn't know why we came here.
We should leave right now.
I'll stop dancing for that.
And he's silent now.
And it is that time of the week where, and all the genitalias will know what this is just from this jingle alone. It is. So this is the point of the show where we use a chatterbox to try and get to know the guests. And it's always quite funny because I think the chatterbox is quite a British thing. And it's always quite funny giving...
It's quite an English word.
It's always quite funny giving foreigners a chatterbox, basically.
Yeah,
I
know that.
I'm literally fighting with a thing here. I don't know how to
And it always sounds a bit provocative when trying to describe how to do this. But the Arabs I had on the other week just couldn't work it out.
Yeah, this is why UKIP is so popular, because foreigners are just so dumb they can't even use a chatterbox.
So what you do is...
both of us, we don't know how it works.
You put your fingers under the flaps.
Okay, which flaps? There's a bunch of flaps.
So if you fold it in half so that the numbers are hidden...
The numbers are hidden.
And then you put your fingers behind those flaps, right? So like two fingers like you're pincing behind those flaps, like, you know? So like that, if you look at me, like that. Yeah, and then on the other side.
Oh, okay.
And then you stretch it, and then once your fingers are in there, you stretch them out, right? So it looks like that, right? And then you sort of like squash it together so that it sort of makes like a pyramid on the top. So like you sort of put the corners will meet in the middle.
I think I should go.
We should be deported.
they can't know
to Arabia.
There now we get.
Yeah,
we got it.
Yeah,
we're getting closer.
And then push it together.
Kindergarten love.
Yeah, we got it. Woo! Yes.
Okay,
wow.
so
this is the biggest success I've had all week.
So basically, you pick a color, and then you pick a number, and then you pick another number, and then you answer the question. So basically, you spell the color out.
Okay.
You count the number out, and then you pick another number, and then under that number is the question. And the questions are quite brief this week, so I'll elaborate on them. And we all answer the questions, and we only answer 4. We don't answer all 8.
Okay.
Which is a pain, because I write all 8 questions out. Because who knows what you're going to pick?
Yeah.
Just words.
Really, I should have just asked you 4 questions.
Yeah, I mean, what's the thing?
Statistics is such a pain.
Well, no, because this leads on to another feature in the shows, which is a bit of fun and comedy related.
It's all about fun in the end.
Ooh. So now Andreas picks a color, and then
you know what I'm gonna pick. You know what I'm gonna pick.
No.
Just say it for me. Say it for me, please.
He's gonna pick yellow.
YELLOW. And then we pick a number.
And then you pick a number.
Pick a number.
It's 2. It's gonna be 2.
And then
I
you count 2.
2.
You count 2.
1, 2.
And then you now reveal. You pick another number, and then you say the question behind that number.
I'm gonna pick 5. 5.
And we pick up 5. Women in comedy? ?
Okay.
Oh, that's big. That's a big. Topic there.
Yeah.
Do we have how much time do we have? Because I don't think it's enough for me to start.
If you give me 15. Oh, actually, I know one, but it's Andreas' turn.
Well, it's not necessarily who's your favourite woman comedian. We were just over. It's a very big comedy night on campus tonight. We were just over at the event for comedy studies at Brunel, and they're discussing a big comedy in the world of being human, humans basically. And they've got right now Funny Women as an establishment that's in London. They're doing an act to try and show that women can be funny or something like that. I think they're just trying to sort of bring that market in.
Trying to prove.
I personally
don't say it, mate.
And I said,
this could be disastrous.
I said this on the radio the other week in a question about what talent I'd like my other half to have, right? And I said I wouldn't mind dating a female comedian.
you wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind.
You could tolerate here or something like that. Let me ask you. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable here, but this show used to be called Lady and Gentleman, right?
It did
now
just,
Yeah,
just
what happened to
gentlemen,
the
right?
lady?
Don't ask that.
I just totally did it. I did what you didn't want to do, right? That's why I'm German. We don't have any sense of sensitivity.
Well,
We're just
well, what happened was,
It's okay, mate. You can hide it. You keep hiding.
no. The lady decided to quit the show.
Oh my God.
I know, very dramatic. I just said what I said was women aren't funny in comedy, and no, I didn't.
I don't know why she got mad.
I don't know why.
It's just.
I said-
I'm not. I'm gonna shut up. I'm just going to shut up.
No,
my strategy now.
She decided that she wanted to go on to do bigger and better things and be in the Brunel University choir and an orchestra instead of being funny.
Trying.
Well,
That's sad.
by being funny, I mean it was just good to have someone to laugh at my jokes.
You're right. You were the funny one, and she was the audience.
That's essentially it. She enhanced
This is
the jokes.
turning quite misogynistic, I've got to say.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We gotta watch what we say.
Yeah. The Lady and Gentleman. I'll plug it. The Lady and Gentleman is available for catch up. All 9 shows that.
By the way, at the open mic
25th,
next week.
25th, come on, spam it.
You should
25th.
all come at 7 in the Academy.
Yep.
Brunel Comedy
Yeah, it's
Society open mic.
Good night, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're raising an important amount of money to make Brunel funnier.
Yeah, the thing is,
So we're a charity now too.
the most important thing is that we
Can
get
we go to jail for
students performing
Yeah.
in that one, and it's a good opportunity for everyone to try stand-up
Mhm.
comedy, because I think that's what the open mic is all about, not trying new stuff and
Yeah.
people supporting it.
I think it's important to remind people that it's not about people laughing, and like it's all about even just going up there, seeing if people do laugh. Because I mean, even if you get up there and you go up there, you've got something written down, and all of a sudden people aren't laughing, you get up there and you start taking a mick out of yourself, and people laugh at that. Then that's the comedy. That's the comedy route you might want to go down if you do want to pursue it. It's all about finding that on a very casual stage.
Yeah,
Give
the
it a
thing
go.
is, I think that many people want to try stand-up comedy, but they don't find the courage to do it. And I sincerely believe that the open mic is the absolute opportunity to do that, especially in a university environment, and with us supporting you. I mean, that's the best you can get.
Yeah, because we've been, I'd say we. I mean, I've really been sort of emailing and stuff, but you guys have been doing the workshops.
Andreas has. It's been great. We've had a lot of fun.
Oh, come on!
I wrote my first comedy over the weekend because I had my my great tutor, my Greek great tutor.
Now, if you don't good, you realize if you don't do good, they're gonna blame you.
I know. That's why I'm saying this. I'm setting this up so I'm not gonna have to take the blame.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, but Andreas is right. We've got a safe environment for everyone that wants to try comedy. Just give it a go. I mean, I'm nervous, but I know
I mean,
that nothing's going to happen to me if I do badly.
I've been doing that since like 9 years now, and I'm nervous each time,
Yeah.
so it doesn't say anything, right?
Yeah, I get this thing when I go on stage with like really nervous, and then I've got one-liners, so I can sort of rely on my first ones to be a bit poxy, and then really get into it. And then when I get off the stage, I'm like dead. My come down is really like I'm like I don't know what I want to be. No, I don't want to be. I want cake. I mean, I want food. And then I get to this point where I just got like a stomach
And then
ache
you
for a
crash.
bit, and I've just crashed. Like it's really funny.
Fall off the
If you ever
stage
go
like
to
Bob Dole.
Yeah, like a bit like, yeah. If you ever go to like a comedy night that's quite casual, and you see the comedians afterwards, like you can just tell that they're just coming down from being this
Yeah.
like.
No, some of them may be just having their periods. I don't know.
And now we're back to female comedians, aren't we? Isn't
Yeah.
that a segue?
But I think, by the way, because we over joked with this thing, I think that there everywhere that you see stand-up comedy, there are female comedians as well, and I think that's not. They do good. They actually do good, and that's
That's what I was going to say, because
something.
in relation to the Comedy Society, I'd love for a woman comedian to
Yeah.
just come up and say, you know what, I'm going to give it a go, because as I mean, the Lady and Gentleman's an example of it. There's been many cases where I've worked with women in comedy, and they've been great. And like I feel the woman said at this then that they do more stories, as opposed to just sort of the big punchlines that men go for. But I think like sort of that route is quite good, and I mean there's definitely room for it. I mean, yeah.
Well, in my head, I don't think they should even split the two things.
No.
Women and comedy.
Exactly, it should be
comedy
the same.
is
Comedy is for
yeah.
everyone.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, you never discuss about men in comedy. Why should you discuss about
Right.
women in comedies? I mean,
Yeah, no, exactly. And I like there's comedians I'll sit down and listen to, and I think they're great. We're making Brunel funnier actually in today's show
at the moment, on
Well,
the
at least
spot.
we're trying.
on the spot. And
I don't know if people
as
actually
part of
laugh.
that, we are going live. Well, we're not going live. One of us is going live to the event next door, which is Andreas, to sell the comedy open mic night and also the society to the people in Brunel Academy.
25th. Yeah, it's 20th.
There'll be free drinks for £4. And
Open bar and beer is $2.25 for a can of Carlsberg.
Russian ballet and stuff. Promise stuff.
Free air. We have free air.
there's free air. There's
The bathrooms are free to use.
there's free comedy.
Free comedy. If you
once
pay
you're-
£3.
once you're in the venue. After you paid the entry fee.
One-time membership fee for the one-time event is £3, and after that, everything's free except for drinks.
We can do free hugs. They always sell it.
We should.
Yeah, or like a kissing booth. You say that now, like, oh, but you might get a nice girl, you might get a guy.
Yeah.
Andreas, what do you think of the the game so far?
I can't even do it. I was going to do a Greek accent, it didn't work. I couldn't even prepare how to do that accent. As Andreas, I will say I think it's really good. Yeah, it's going really well.
What did you think of the first question?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was stimulating, probably really entertaining for the audience.
You have changed in the past 5 minutes, Andreas. I am baffled by the transformation.
Well,
Well,
that happens a lot on Radio Brunel.
This is what happens when the first question is women in comedy.
They turn up.
They just
Walk around the corner.
That's,
Love it.
It's just them. I mean, I didn't know Andreas even did the opposite of drag. What the drag is drag?
It's still drag.
It's still drag?
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing. I thought it'd be like
Drug.
mag or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Moving on, we've got 4 questions to get through here, and the next question, please. These are comedy themes, so I don't know if you'd be able to relate to these, Andreas, in your female form. But
I'm very funny
so is it
as
my
Andreas.
turn?
But
is it my turn?
it is your turn to
Okay,
pick
so
the
I go-
numbers and the
I'm
colours.
gonna
and
go
stuff.
blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna go 8. What is your favorite joke? Now that is putting me on the spot.
It doesn't have to be like a joke you've wrote.
Right.
It just has to be like an any case joke, any comedian, maybe something you've read in a Christmas cracker, anything.
Yeah. Thing is, though, when you get put on the spot, now I don't remember a single joke I've ever heard in my life. But anyone, give me some help over there. You're the gentleman. You're funny,
I am funny,
right?
and Andreas, no need to get rude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is that?
Oh, it's just the hostility between the two presidents. 'Cause,
Oh, yeah.
Egos.
Just
It was bound to come
Regular
out at some point.
banter.
Yannick. My favourite joke, I'll start this off, is one I've written, obviously.
Ego.
I was very proud of my tweet today, actually. I'm very proud of my tweet today, because I don't tweet much more.
I was gonna say one tweet.
I just one tweet a day. One tweet a day keeps the
Doctor away.
people at bay. I don't know. And because otherwise I'll just get loads of fan
No,
mail.
I've got a better one. One tweet a day keeps the ladies away.
Well, the lady just walked in. Oh wait, you're Andreas. You're
no,
not the lady.
Andreas.
Yeah, sorry. about
Andreas, the lady.
that. Yeah.
My tweet today was when I'm asked where the gents' toilets are, I say I don't own them. If you wanted to see the original tweet, follow Mr. Johnny Knight on Twitter. I tweet
I
daily.
I don't
tweet
have
daily.
a Twitter. Is that an excuse?
That is an excuse,
Okay.
yes. But my genitalias are avid Twitter users, according to
Twitter
my
is.
market research. So, in answer to that question, my favourite joke is actually an old joke of mine. which I haven't done in a while. There's two. I'll do a prop one because I do prop joke. I'll do one-liners, so it's quite easy for me to say a joke really right now. My prop joke is just checking, and I hold up a chessboard-like prop. And my other joke is on the Duke of Edinburgh, and my instructor came over to me while I was eating some Chinese and crying, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm orienteering."
That was quite good.
Favourite joke, Andreas?
And it's what's the
So
difference?
it's a story.
No. It's what's the difference between a piano and a tuner? You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. And I was,
It's funny to me. I laugh at everything.
Well,
Very easy to please when it comes to jokes. How about we do a school joke?
A school joke? Okay,
School
we'll
joke.
go there. Is this your favourite? We'll just pretend it's your favourite joke. for the
Yeah,
sake of
exactly. Okay, I've got a bad driver joke, and it's really, really long, and I haven't read it before, so this is a premiere. So there's a senior citizen driving on the highway. His wife calls him on his cell phone, and in a worried voice says, "Herman," oh, that's my dad's name. "Hi, Dad. Herman, be careful. I just heard on the radio that there was a madman driving the wrong way on Route 280. Oh, I can predict this. Herman says, "I know, but there isn't just one. There are hundreds." German joke. Ah, that dumb. See, that's why Germans aren't funny.
Well,
Do you know about German bedtime stories? You watch Family Guy?
no.
You want me to tell you a German bedtime
Yeah,
story?
go-
Okay, I'm
yeah.
going to do it in a German accent. Okay.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna.
Okay.
Gentleman first.
And this is an actual story from a children's book from the 1880s, okay? So once was a boy who liked to suck his thumbs. His mother asked him to stop, but he wouldn't. So she cut off his thumbs. Now he has no thumbs. Good night. That is legit a real bedtime story from Germany.
That is.
Like I was read this story when I was a 3-year-old kid.
Right. And do you still have your thumbs?
Yeah, I'm playing Chatterbox. I have 2 thumbs. It works.
You can also, because we've got listeners this week. I mean, because I asked popular people on.
What do you mean we've got listeners this
I mean,
week?
we have added listeners. This
Another
week.
million listeners.
Andreas is very upset by your statement.
You're really taking on the role of Andreas.
Well, Andreas, when I did the Ladies and Gentlemen, it was a bit rubbish. So. The numbers.
Andreas says that show was really good, and he's listened to the podcast. And
Who are
they're
you,
really
Felipe
good.
from The Apprentice? You speak about yourself in third person. Andreas is not happy. I don't know why he's like Italian. I've just made him from Greek to Italian.
Yeah.
I could just imagine him in the next room going, "So you might not understand me because I'm Greek." Hummus. I don't know.
Gyros.
Yolla yolla. I don't know. Do they say that?
No,
in
that
Greek
is
still?
Turkish. That is Turkish.
Is it still Turkish?
Yeah.
Because hummus is the sort of Middle Eastern argument, isn't it?
Yeah, but
It originated here. No, it originated here. No, it originated here. No, it originated here. The Iranians are like, we made it. We made it. I show you a recipe. I show you a recipe. Chickpeas, done. That's basically Middle East summed up, ladies and gentlemen. That's why there's,
That's why
war.
there's no peace in the Middle East.
So you're
peace in
saying
the Middle
they're
East.
fighting about hummus?
Yeah, because people are like they invite the Turks over and they go, let's eat and let's eat. It's there's no eating. It's overfilling yourself in the Middle East, and they sit down and they're all around this sort of meze. And then people are having in Iran. There's some sort of aubergine type thing, and then they progress on to they've had tzatziki. They've confirmed tzatziki is Turkish.
No, that's Greek.
Greek.
Now, thing is though, if Andreas
Yes.
knew that you were confusing Turkish and Greek, he would not be coming back to the show. He would walk out.
Yeah, I'm going right now.
Not come back.
Well, okay, tzatziki is Greek, but then you go to Turkish shops, and they're selling tzatziki like it's their own.
They call it jajik. It's the same thing, but it has a different name.
Okay, right.
It's like gyros and kebab.
Kebab.
One is
Kebab.
Greek, one is Turkish. Same thing.
And on that note, let's continue the game. Andreas is his go to pick the numbers.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for yellow. YELLOW.
He loves yellow, doesn't he?
Yeah, Andreas loves yellow.
Because I'm such a happy person. Yellow, and just I can't even read what these numbers are. 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I don't know what.
Number 1.
Okay, no, I'm gonna go for number 1. Because that. What do you hate about Brunel?
Now, don't say the gentleman, because that would be horrifying.
Don't say the lady either. I mean,
Well, only kidding.
Andreas is shocked.
The German trying to be funny and it didn't work again.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
What does Andreas hate about Brunel? The lack of Greek food.
There's a Hellenic society which has like 50 members. There should be enough Greek food.
Not as many as our society.
That is true. We've got about 64, don't we?
64 indeed.
Something,
yes,
something
yes,
above
around
60.
Oh wow!
I
Yeah,
know.
well, me and the guys, so we've been doing very well.
You are really just flourishing in this role. You should be Andreas all the time.
Oh, it could be part of like Andreas' act. This is a very strange day.
It's just like one of those changing things, you know, those changing acts where they change quickly. You lift up one of those things and all of a sudden Sara's there and Andreas is gone. Like,
And then there's Andreas.
you know, it goes from Andreas to Andreas. Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I hate about Brunel. Stop chucking stuff. Like, stop covering your own arse with stupid things and show us the facts, really, because ultimately it's all well and good you saying we're doing this when we're doing that, but none of it relates, and that's the issue. I mean, we've had an issue as the Comedy Society with the open mic. It took too long, and I think we're suffering from that. We're having to compensate for that in a big way. And I mean, again, if you're a Brunel student, you would have received an email today saying that one more comedy night is taking place this term, and we all know that isn't the case, as next week at Tuesday the 25th of November there is an open mic night in Brunel Academy,
7 p.m.
with the great comedians that are students at Brunel. This is important, run by the students for the students, as we bring in
For the people, by the people.
Exactly. That's what it is.
America.
We should join up with the Politics Society and make this a political
and make Brunel funnier.
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing that I hate most about Brunel is that it isn't funny enough.
It isn't funny enough. No,
It's so dry.
It is
most
dry.
of the time.
It's from the social kitchen's food to the actual.
Yeah, has anyone ever suffocated from the social kitchen's food?
No, not that I
No?
know of yet, no.
Because it's horrible.
What are you doing with the food to suffocate?
Like
putting it straight onto your face?
No,
You just
because it's
you
so
put-
dry.
You eat
just
the chicken.
choke and then
You eat the chicken and the entire moisture content of your body just goes into that food.
you turn into
Just
a raisin.
Instantly, and then they do your post-mortem and they're like, well, at least the chicken was moist. He died of dehydration. The chicken took it out of him. What a
Wow.
sad way to go.
It's getting very sassy in here now. I mean, what is Big Matt Brunel is a big supporter of Johnny Knight and is eating. What was it that they gave you before? You won like a Twitter competition.
I did win a Twitter competition, to be fair, and this
With your one tweet a day.
No, yeah, it was like they got you Academy tickets.
they got me Academy tickets,
Wow,
which was
cool.
good because, and also it was sort of like a double win because it was like you had to meet this good-looking girl as well, and you had to meet her, and then she gave you Academy tickets, and I was one Academy ticket, and it was good because so you got eye candy, and free entry to the greatest club in the Uxbridge.
Which is running an open mic night.
I've heard this.
Yeah.
I've heard this.
When is it? Right, 25th, Tuesday, 7 p.m.
And Andreas, what have you perfected your act yet for the
Oh
open mic?
yeah, yes. I'm going to talk about being Greek and Brunel and many other entertaining
That is
topics.
pretty much
Andreas.
spot on. Andreas, you are prepared. You were so well
I
prepared.
know a
I'm
lot
glad you
about
remember your
myself.
jokes.
Yeah.
Andreas.
surprising. Wow. Not surprising, just you know.
So let's do one
Great.
more. Let's do one more question off the chatterbox. Call it a day of that.
Okay, red, because we haven't had red. R-E-D. We're gonna make that quick. 3. 1, 2, 3, and 2. Have we had 2?
Maybe.
I'll see. Let's look.
Just open it all the way.
Right. Oh wow, I cannot read that handwriting. If you were to write a comedy sketch, what would happen?
What would your comedy sketch be?
Oh, that is very well worded there. A sketch. Well, I just wrote my jokes. It's not necessarily a sketch though. I'm not really a sketch person.
Yeah, but say like conceptually, you did a sketch like I don't know, like you're in a restaurant and there's something funny about what you're doing. What would the scenario be roughly? Like a
Probably.
I'll tell you what we'll do place, we'll do characters, and we'll do punchline. Like, so what would be the end joke of the whole sketch? Because that's, I think, breaks it. That's because I'm not going to have you standing there going, what would happen is Susie would walk in and she'd order the hummus, and then Andreas would walk in and go, that's great, and it's like, I was going to get tzatziki, but I don't really like Turkish people. No, what you're doing, man, it's Greek. It wouldn't be that. It would be, when's Andreas changing back?
I don't know. I just keep on checking, but he hasn't returned. He's probably just being received so well that they...
that sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it?
Okay, that was my foreignness, because I don't understand why everyone's laughing at me right now. See, this is what I would do in my sketch. I would put myself in a situation where I don't know what is going on because of language barriers. And I would just be the bloke that just sits there, doesn't know what's going on, everyone laughs at him, and I secretly cry very deep inside of myself.
Well, I'm just coming back and there are things going on about me. It's just I have to.
So, who are you? We finished the chat box, and
So who am I, after all?
you are Sara Wimble, the lady.
Oh.
Oh no, wait. Oh yeah.
You've switched roles.
We're moving on immediately to get on with the next part of the show. And the next part of the show is actually going to be a feature about sitcoms. And it's that point of the show where I do my 60-second Tinder tip.
Oh,
right?
grief.
And
Is that what the sound is for it now?
it's alarming, I know.
It's just like, oh my
I
God.
thought it was a fire alarm.
Oh, well, many people probably do. They're thinking, what, fire in the studio? I don't know. So what I do is, because every time people think I'm the voice of Tinder, basically, they think he's the gentleman. He must know how to, I get questions all the time. How did you manage to get so many matches on Tinder? You've been on so many dates. Is it your photos? Is it your bio? So I've decided to give the people what they want. And it's a tip, which is just doing my bit, really. I'm just doing my bit, So I count down 60 seconds. I don't think I've got a Tinder tip this week to fill 60 seconds. And this week is a very good tip associated with once you've matched the person on Tinder, right? You're due to add them on Facebook, and that's what this is all about. So I'm bringing the countdown to really make it dramatic and elongate the feature. So let's just get that going. So my Tinder tip this week is all about adding the girl on Facebook or male on Facebook, right? Because there's obviously, you see the 6 photos initially, and then you see the bio, and it's usually like Instagram, Mr. Johnny Knight or whatever, nothing too substantial. When you match, you've got a match, and as long as they're not fake, but we've addressed that last week, we addressed the fake thing. So this week, my suggestion is, once you've got to the Facebook, that they're not good for dating if there's no regular photos, right? If there's old photos, they've clearly changed They've changed. They're now ugly. Just don't do it, right? If there's no new photo, just revoke, right? And say, this isn't happening. And that's my Tinder tip for the week. Just rely on the recent photos. Personal experience. No, it's not personal experience. There you go. That comes to me midweek, and just giving the people what they want to hear.
What do you do the rest of the week?
That was so dramatic, man.
It was over dramatic, I know. But this leads in, funnily enough, to what I was going to do, and go on to my next thing. So we were talking about TV earlier. Andreas, you got no idea, but you didn't know. I said a couple of TV shows and you didn't know them, so I thought I'd sort of test. You did know Live at the Apollo, though. I'll give you that. I just thought I'd test the British.
Sorry.
Andreas, what's your comment to that?
No, I'm understanding something that was happening earlier in the week.
I
was stupid. I sounded like in the British culture.
This is like you must be beside yourself right now.
I could have been a little bit more late, couldn't I?
Yeah. So what I've done is I've brought up at least 10 or so of big British sitcoms, and they've all got theme tunes, and I'm going to play the theme tune, and I'm going to see if you're able to guess what sitcom they are. The female Andreas is going to know a lot of these.
Probably all of them.
Oh, should I hold back?
As an avid couch potato.
As an avid... I do love...
What a compliment.
It's pretty accurate, I'll be honest.
So
I live on Netflix, it's fine.
And funny enough,
I just don't have a couch.
So this is the first one is of the feature I'm going to call Guess the Sitcom. And
wow.
I know, very original. And this is the first theme tune. I don't know if you'll recognise any of these. Some of them are quite distinctive, but they must have made it to you through something. But across the borders.
The channel, across the channel.
Across the channel, right. So this is the first one. And again, female Andreas is going to just know this one. But here we go.
Wait by the window.
Well, thank God my feminine side is here.
I know, it's a good thing I am here because...
Yeah, we have no idea.
Well, I think he just brought us here to ridicule us with this.
I think, yeah. He is just secretly a UKIP person that is trying to just make fun of foreigners.
Well, when the Arabs were on, I did a MasterChef mashup and gave them British food and blindfolded them. And it was just awful. They were just like, one of them absolutely killed me. I didn't even know, and I keep forgetting. One of them was like, is this pork? Is this pork? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I can't eat pork. And I was like, what? You've just eaten like a sausage. Like, what? And then he was like, I'm joking, man. And I almost died. I was like, I've completely dismantled a religion on my show. That's what's happened. And now I'm definitely sounding like a UKIP voter, aren't I?
Yes, yeah. Well, you've got the secret agenda going, definitely.
I've got the secret agenda.
I didn't even know that they have British food. I didn't know that British food exists as a thing.
It was a plate, like, it was all pork based. I've now noticed we love pork, but there was a Scotch egg, which was standard. There was spam on the plate.
Oh, that's British?
Yeah, I'm down with it.
The spam brand is the British, but they do
I'm
it
sure
everywhere.
it's like tin ham.
meat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's horrible. Really.
If you do want to listen to Habibi, which is the name of the show, it is available on the YouTube Catch Up service. Just thought I'd plug that because it's just went up recently, and I'm very behind on editing my shows. So yeah, so you have no idea what that was. Do you want to rehear it? Will it help?
I don't. I highly doubt that.
Yeah, I don't
we can
think.
rehear it. Yeah, we can pretend. Just let it play again, please.
Yeah, play it again.
So I'll play that again.
Wait by the window for you. Wait by your big house for you. Wait by the squeeze bar.
Now we know.
Yeah, man.
The second time round.
The second time round really
You
jokes.
played it longer, and then it just made sense. You wanna break it,
Yeah.
Andreas?
Oh, I'll leave it to you. I mean, just
Gavin and Stacey.
yeah, it's okay.
Wow. It's almost
That
like
is such a classic.
It's almost like I didn't see you transfer the notes.
Right?
From the woman. And as a Welsh person,
What
I mean,
notes?
it's just standard to just know that, isn't it? But that was Gavin and Stacey, a very popular sitcom that doesn't exist anymore. That's what happens to British sitcoms.
No, it
really,
might
doesn't
come
it?
back.
What the American version or
No. I need to find that bit. I need to find that pilot episode so I can laugh.
Just no.
It's got Rory in it. But no, apparently they want to do another Christmas special. But
Oh, I do love the Christmas specials.
they are the best.
The next theme tune, I thought is a very appropriate one as a German's on the show.
Oh wow, this is
Can I
good.
already
It's time to
guess?
dance, man.
You probably
It's gonna
have
be
guessed
bad.
what it's going to be, and I just thought it was very appropriate to
Shall
go
I
this.
sing
And it's
it
quite
for
a
you?
famous sitcom here, and I don't watch it personally, but it's very old, and they replayed some of the classics for something that happened recently, which is also another clue as a German. And so here it is, the theme tune for this, and I think they say it in the theme tune as well. So we'll give this a go.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think we're on the run, we are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? If you think old England.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know the sitcom, but I can say
But I know Mr. Hitler.
that as a German, there is this curse that every conversation you have ends up with Hitler. You always end up talking about Hitler. It's horrible.
But in
That's like the only thing people know about Germany is Hitler.
no, well
That's not true.
in London we have the rule: don't mention the war.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
standard. You know, you're born and it's on your birth certificate. Just your lifelong lesson. Just it's on there down the bottom. Just don't mention the war. You know, and then each year they decide to do this thing to remember the war. I mean, don't mention it, but you know, we'll turn the Tower of London red. And
Silently remember it.
I think we're just. Yeah, someone asked this year actually. I don't know where I read this or saw it. Are we going to do that every year? Are we doing that like in 50 years' time? Are we going to be wearing that damn flower? And I said yes, because we have lest we forget. That was my answer. That's my answer. I thought that was very patriotic answer, but really, I mean, in 50 years' time, are we? Hopefully, we have another world war because we need to forget about the first one, really, don't we? First two, Third World War. Here we come. You've heard it on the gentleman first.
Yeah, I think when it becomes an actual trend is when you're gonna get over it. I mean, like, why are we wearing this flower? I think it's cute, you know, that people.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's charities competing. There's the daffodil for cancer research. Or
No, St. David's Hospice.
St. David's Hospice, and they're like, you know what? We'll give you a flower to wear for the other 364 days of the year, but then for that one day, you can wear that red flower proud, that poppy.
Yeah.
So, do you know the sitcom?
probably something with Mr. Hitler. I don't know.
It's called Dad's Army,
Oh,
and it is a wartime themed show, obviously, but I don't really know. I can't really tell you the story.
It's about, like, you know, all the guys who were too old, all the men that were too old to, like, go off and fight in the war, like the home front people.
Mhm.
I used to know the German name for the German home front because I did, like, an essay on it, but it's completely gone now.
Mein Front.
No.
probably Heimatfront. but
Yeah, that was it. Thank you, German.
now I've proven I'm actually German.
Interpreter,
Wow.
thank you for attending,
Thank
the
you.
gentleman. You may go now.
That's
Well, that's all I wanted you for. Just the German.
No,
for the
essentially
My
it's
Front.
it's quite funny, but if you put it in the German perspective, they wouldn't make a sitcom about that because it's actually quite sad. For
I heard the German
home
perspective
front.
was just the opposite of the English perspective.
It was
Just
really sad.
the other
and
side of
they
no
all
man's land. They're
died.
just looking at the other side, going, "Oh, it's the same, but it's
Different.
English." So this is my next sitcom. It's not my sitcom. I didn't write it. I'm just but this is a classic. This must have made it across the border. You must have got this.
Watch, we're not going to know again.
You're not going to know this again. But again, the Welsh in the room, the Welsh in the room.
It's a very foreign room.
It's very diverse.
It is.
Very diverse.
It is.
Yeah. So this is you've got to know this. It's not one of the good ones on the list actually, but it's still well known as a song as well as a theme tune. That's a clue.
Is it the Titanic or something?
Does it have any words?
Not in the.
After
Not-
Hitler, the next
so
one
in the-
did not have any words.
So that's the opening titles. In the credits there's words, and actually, funnily enough, due to the power of radio, these are the end credits.
It sounds like Elton John.
So what becomes of you, my love, when they have finally stripped you off the handbags and the glad rags that your granddad had to sweat?
So no.
There's a proper stop for these things at the border. They're not letting any of this go.
You know what I think?
We won't
They
give
just-
them British comedy.
We might
the
have
bastards.
we might have the sitcom, but they just give us different songs. Like we have the yodeling, and you guys have the sirtaki or something for the sitcom. We just don't get the songs.
That is set in Slough. Does that give you a hint? Slough
No.
Trading Estate. They've also done an American version with Steve Carell.
Wait, so you mean The Office?
The Office. Yep, the British Office with Ricky Gervais.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the song.
Yeah, no, it's a very the show's quite sad, really. But
Well, because there's
Sad?
only
It's
there's
very
only
sad.
one season. It's the thing is though, the British Office
was once it
has
was
only one season.
The American one did.
And the first season is the exact same on the American one, but it's really sad, and the other ones are really, really like funny. It gets really
Yeah.
funny.
Changed it
It's
so
such a
much.
shame that they only did the one season with Ricky Gervais. Like,
They were contemplating giving him another go, weren't they, David Brent? But it just
Yeah.
didn't carry. I think the focus groups.
He has a cameo
They used
in
the same focus groups as the Gentleman, and they said, if you can't compete with the Gentleman, you can't have a show.
yeah, he has a cameo on the American one.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
I've heard about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he also went on to an award show and took
Oh, yeah.
the award off
Yeah. The
Steve
Grammys.
Carell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was The Office.
Something.
Moving on swiftly to a very British one. This wouldn't have made it across the border, but I'll give you a clue.
Like every single other one.
Because you might have seen it about, or you might have seen it on TV or mentioned. You're getting an education, if anything.
Right, that's what we're here for.
And these two were
This is
famous
university.
for the glasses they wore, and this was the theme tune for their show when it was on TV. You know what I was thinking that reminded me of? It reminded me of a very good theme tune that's quite close to home, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know how I know this one. I've heard this one somewhere.
I know. So that do you know what that was? Two short English men. One of them used to do a show called Open All Hours and another show called Porridge. He's not with us anymore, unfortunately, but the other one still exists and it's quite small, and he does adverts on TV for ordering like food for the elderly.
Yeah.
Don't have a TV here. We're just horrible contestants on this game.
I think we're losing massively.
Yeah.
And the best thing is Jonathan's face. That's a pity you cannot see it. I mean, he goes like, he just nerves his eyes every time he pushes play. Like, these guys are never gonna know.
And he's secretly calling UKIP to just deport us right away. They're waiting outside the door.
This is actually to gain British citizenship. This is the British citizenship test at the moment, and you're not doing very well. They've changed it. Boris said, enough of this. Let's put in some comedy.
Once you guys get out of the EU, we're just gonna leave.
And so that was the two Ronnies.
Never heard of it.
Ronnie Corbett and Ronnie Barker. Ronnie Barker.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, so moving on.
Just play Das Boot.
This would have come across the border. And if it hasn't,
you've said this to every single one.
I will cry.
The border thing, where I don't know, in his mind must be like, we're across the borders in the.
I'm just
give us some music, something.
Some sitcom. I'm just imagining people chucking DVDs over the wall, up over a wall, like.
And we're on the other side of the wall, on a tree with a banana. Like, what does this do?
And all your
you don't even have TV.
All your catching is like Celine Dion CDs and like
in Germany, it's
Band
David
Aid.
Hasselhoff.
It's Germany. Okay, that makes sense.
Hasselhoff brought down the walls.
He
so
did.
They're really
he
thankful.
Did. Yeah, he's the only person responsible for that.
He played a guitar and it just fell.
So this is a very specific, because this group of people did a lot of shows of different varieties, but this is their most famous theme tune, and you might potentially recognise it. But again, squinty eyes.
Yeah, we're gonna suck again. Yeah.
So, here we go.
National anthem, something? No?
The what? It does sound national anthem-y. But imagine sort of like where this music would be sort of played.
Military parades. Last night of the proms. Military weddings.
I'm surprised you know what the proms are.
Well, yeah.
I'll give you that.
I had that in school in Germany.
They could be playing these songs at the borders when they're throwing the other songs.
Yeah. This actually sounds like a German marching song.
Oh, we're getting back from the Germans. It's just like
with the Hitler one, and we got a hit, man.
That is in fact Monty Python.
Oh my God!
Circus.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know the theme song.
I think that might be half the issue. Right, I'm going to move straight on to these two, and these two are
which we aren't going to guess.
You won't guess. These two are like my idols, really, and you've just guessed it, haven't you? You've guessed it from that
without even saying it.
I just have so much time for
the theme tune's the worst part.
What?
I just got a text
I don't
from
know if you think you're thinking of the same thing now.
I just got a text from my girlfriend saying, "Oh, I knew that was Monty Python."
I'm glad she did.
Yeah,
glad she did.
Hi, Ty.
Is she German?
No, she's American.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's see if she gets this one. As we play a very British track, you might have heard this since your time. This might not have made it across the border, but it might be on a playlist.
Across the wall, you mean?
Across the wall.
Across the border in your head.
Oh, over the wall. Yep. So here we go.
Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter.
I feel like I've heard this one, but I don't know the title.
Yeah, it's very British. I think I had that while they were checking my passport to get in here.
Nope, won't get a stamp. Nope.
At the moment, they're being, you might have seen them on posters as you go up the tube, they're being replicated by two people that are replaying their acts, and they're doing a very good job of it as well, because they're half the price. There's not much money.
They have what's it called? Like what's it called when
tribute act?
A tribute.
It is a tribute act, and they look
doing
identical. Identical. I can't because they literally, I don't know. They've released their names obviously, but they've only ever presented themselves as Morecambe and Wise. They've done the Edinburgh Fringe as Morecambe and Wise. They took it by storm, and now they've got a West End show doing it, and they're back for their second season.
I want to see that.
I'm very impressed. When I hear that song, it reminds me of Chris Moyles on Children in Need, Comic Relief. He danced to their holograms, like in time. It's good. It's very good. Check that one out. So there's that one. Bring Me Sunshine. You should be writing these down so you can check them out later.
Yeah, I wish people
that's
could
where the-
see Andreas's and my face, because we're just like looking at each other like.
That's where the Comedy Society is going to go. We're going to start. We're going to do our own show as a team, a sitcom.
That'd be really good.
That'd be fun.
It wouldn't be good.
Yeah. Almost as fun as the open mic night.
So, what a show! What a show! Has it been comedy enough? No.
There's never comedy enough,
But
is there?
you can never have too much, and that's what I wanted to leave people on. I didn't want to give them too much comedy because the rest of the comedy comes on Tuesday night in Brunel Academy from 7 p.m.
Yeah, it's Tuesday on the 25th.
The 25th.
25th. Did we mention that? We'll say.
Did you mention that? Where is it again?
Academy, I think.
Ah, I think.
Is that that
Who's hosting
disco?
Who's running the event? I mean,
Society, I think it's Society.
Brunel Comedy Society?
We have a
Brunel?
Comedy Society?
Yeah. A couple of cool people founded that.
and that brings us to the end of the show. So thank you guys. I'll bring on the other crew, the rest of the crew, because it's very important to make Brunel funnier.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Thank you very much, Jonathan, for having us over. Did we say it's this Tuesday at 7? 25th, it's our open mic. Very exciting.
Yeah, thanks Andreas for coming on. Thanks Yannick for coming
Thanks
on.
for having
and
us.
Thanks for Sara Brimble for being Andreas for part of the show and the female version
I tried really
of
hard.
Andreas.
The female British version.
She did come late, so.
Yeah, it was true. I mean, very, very close.